Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. As the recording of this, it is Saturday, September 9th, 2023. Standing here in the parking structure at the hotel I'm staying at in Hollywood. I am heading to the Boulevard today on this weekend, Saturday night, as this is being filmed, looking at the Hollywood Hills off in the distance there. And I'm gonna head that direction and park at the Chinese Theater and walk to my former apartment close to the 101 and the Boulevard, show that, reminisce a little bit, and just see what this evening will bestow upon myself on the Boulevard. You never know what's gonna happen when you walk that street. I'm inviting you to join me, shall you? From one parking structure to another. I'm now at the Hollywood and Highland structure. Had to go down a couple levels into the catacombs of P4. Painted green. I always park here. It's like $15, $20 for the full day. Not too bad. You can just come back whenever. Yeah, this is my old stomping ground. I lived here for 2 years, right off the Boulevard. Not exactly on the Boulevard, like half a block off. 2017 and 2018-ish. I went up one level. It's kind of interesting to see how things change over time. Like this whole building right here is not being utilized. This whole floor is not being utilized. But for a while it was a candy store called Sweets. And I believe Elvira had a pop-up store. And then later RuPaul had a pop-up store. And it stretched all the way down here. Oh, you can still see parts of the candy store. You can see the Wonka right up top there. But right through here, this door was where a couple of those pop-up stores were. And so this is like just off to the side of the Chinese Theater where the famous handprints are. Right here, this used to play music. You would walk up the side of these stairs that has the piano keys, and you would put your foot right here and it would play whatever particular note this was. But it hasn't worked in a heck of a long time. I think it worked for like the first year when I lived right off the Boulevard, but since then it's basically been broken. It just hasn't worked at all. Also, secret staircase. You got the staircase here, and look at this staircase to nowhere. If you started at the bottom and walked up, you would run right into this. Secrets. And this is going to be basically just a walk down memory lane, more or less, of kind of the old days. Really have no game plan whatsoever. I'm just kind of winging it and just seeing where the day takes me. Spider-Man right there. In front of the iconic, the famous, the monumental Chinese Theater. Right next to Michael Bay's hand and footprints here. Billy Crystal's over here from 2019. Lily Tomlin, of course, from 95. Ethan Hawke, Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes. They're just all kind of crammed in here. Ridley Scott over here. It's like the Avengers over here in this corner. This was really painstakingly recreated very well at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Almost a one-for-one scale, if I believe. Tim Burton right here. Sam Elliott. Warren Beatty over here. Zemeckis. And you'll notice a lot of these handprints will have two Sid on them. So you got Jack Nicholson here, you got Jane Fonda, but you see two Sid. So this used to be the Grauman's Chinese Theater. It was Sid Grauman. They have changed the name since then. But you can see here a lot of the old handprints from like 1928. Dear Sid. That one even says Dear Sid. But it's gone through different names. Still a Chinese theater, but no longer the Grauman Chinese Theater. You got Kirk Douglas, the dad of Michael Douglas, who is below Richard Gere over here. You got Johnny Depp right here, De Niro right over there as well. Connery, Ash Connery from 99. From in front of behind the camera, thank you, Ron Howard. From in front and behind the camera. Okay, I misread that. Who is this here? Is that Jim Carrey? I think that might be Jim Carrey. Maybe not. I can't tell who that is, to be honest with you. Yeah, it might be, maybe. Yeah, I think that might be Jim Carrey. Merrily, 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 95? That's interesting why he would write Merrily, Merrily, Merrily. And then Robin Williams. You got a couple comedians here. You got Tom Hanks over here, who started off kind of as a lot of comedy back in his early years. Sandler. Yeah, here's a great legend. Peter Sellers, Pink Panther. Being There, classic. Dean Martin. There's a lot, you know, I've looked at these a few times, but I've never really taken the time to really kind of go through them in detail. Charlton Heston right here, back from 62. And when you're over at these gift shops, this gift shop is just right here into the little, I call it the Esplanade, but the little area right in front of it. You can get 99-cent little keychains here, and then you can also get, you know, best different items all through here, like best co-worker, best couple, best aunt, best athlete, little miniature Academy Awards. Get yourself a little souvenir. And a staple over here by Madame Tussauds, the $5 souvenir plan. But another former staple, the Starbucks right here, is gone. No more Starbucks in the spot. It's all right though, because I really like this coffee bean across the street. I like this little outdoor seating area. And check these guys out right here. They were doing some wheelies up and down the boulevard. This guy's already doing a wheelie. Look at that. Wow, they have just taken over the boulevard right here. No F's given. My coffee. It's interesting that they closed off this little outdoor sitting area right here. As long as you can sit on a little stool, drink your coffee, and look out over the boulevard. But right now, they have done away with that for today. Got to look at some stars here. Check it out. There's the causes. Some of the names I know, some of the names I don't know. Oh, there's Billy Barty right there. Very nice. Original. So Billy Barty he was in UHF, and he was also, I believe he was in Masters of the Universe. Well, here's the Max Factor. But Billy Barty also, I believe, was the original Figment. People behind me are really having a nice chuckle.
See any names to recognize?
It's like a little bit of construction over here in front of Dear Deli's. They have the little wooden platform here. And no bicycling, no skateboarding, and of course, no roller. Oh, this says yes to skateboarding right there. Okay, the rules have changed. I guess you can't skateboard. Ooh, take a look at this thing. This is a sweet ride. Still don't know what the heck happened to Elvis's guitar. And speaking of Max Factor, that's the original Max Factor building right there. Right next to Mel's Diner. And of course, Buster, standing strong up there. I call him, I nicknamed him Buster years ago as he busts through the top of the roof of the Ripley's Auditorium. And one of the most interesting restaurants on the boulevard, the Mickey D's right there. It's that's quite an experience. Hit that Mickey D's at midnight, your life will change. Got a lot of street vendors out here selling their wares all the way through here. People skateboarding, people selling beverages, keychains, hand sanitizer there, churros. Marilyn Monroe is right here. Check it out. And then Arsenio Hall, which is right over here too. Arsenio. I used to love the Arsenio Hall show back in the day. There are a lot more street vendors than there used to be. I don't ever remember this many street vendors being right here on the sidewalk. That's right. Come on, let's do it. We gotta walk down the boulevard here. Come on, Judy. If that's all right with you, Mr. Wadlow. Robert Wadlow, world's tallest man right here. He's like really, really tall. Curious? Right here at this building. Now during the holidays, they set up a heck of a Christmas display right here. Gotta be honest, the Christmas display is pretty wild. Yeah, crazy. I'll just keep walking past here. And don't be fooled out of every place out here on the boulevard that has souvenirs. That one is the best. Why would they lie? Quite a bit of construction out here. It looks like Dolly Parton is covered up. And you know one thing, it's like before I ever moved here, before I ever came to Hollywood, I thought it was going to be all pristine and clean, kind of like they show in the movies. It's not. It's a lot of trash, a lot of dirt. I don't even know if they even pressure wash these on a nightly basis anymore. Yeah, this street has a big piece of my heart. For 2 years I lived here. For the first 7 months of that, I didn't even have a car. So I would walk up and down Hollywood Boulevard. So I got to know the street really, really well. This bookstore here I highly recommend. It's called Larry Edmunds. They have a lot of old scripts in there, a lot of old posters, all kind of books. It used to be located a little farther down the street. It used to be down that way before my time, but now it is here. There's a lot of really great stuff in there. If you want old Hollywood books, this place is a treasure trove. No shirt, no shoes, no dyes. They have the quote on the front from Fast Times on the front of it as well. Learn it, know it, live it. Yeah, that's a great place. There's an old Crest store here. It still has the Crest sign right there, but it hasn't been open in a while. This historic building is the Hollywood Toys Costumes spot, which is pretty great. I always got the costumes in the window, the old billboards up there, and the spider right there on the side. See the big spider that's like crawling. Look at these spotlights. You know what? I've never noticed these spotlights before. I don't even know if they even work or if they're even on. Even though there is video monitoring in progress. Sometimes I wonder if that's true or not. Now, right next to a Pee-wee star in the window, they have added this little piece of art here with him with angel's wings. That's pretty cool that they have added that. So his star is right there. And in front of Chinese Theater's not the only place that has handprints. There's handprints over here in front of Hustler as well. Yeah, there's Larry Flips right there. Well, this is a bummer. This really historic mural here of all the celebrities through time watching the movie in the theater has been spray painted over and graffitied and all tagged up. Hopefully they repair it, but right now it is just really kind of destroyed. Also, if you look closely, you can see E.T. right up there, and a lot of the other ones have been covered up like through here. But yeah, you can. Some of it's not. Some of it is visible, but a lot of it is spray painted over. Yeah, if you want, or if I wanted to, I could rent one of these, cruise down the strip, or even this one right here. Look at this little thing. Now from here, you can see the Hollywood sign if you zoom way in. This is on the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and Cahuenga, which has that iconic Cahuenga building right here, the Julian Medical Building, which now has a Popeye's Chicken below it. It's been recreated, I think, at DCA and then also at Hollywood Studios in Florida, former MGM Studios. They have the structure that they have recreated. Now right over in front of Sinful Pizza, A Taste of Sin. Check this out. There's one of these like robotic food delivery service vehicles coming through here. It is on delivery. Okay, it's going back and forth, stopping. I don't know if me standing here is delaying it at all, but it is like, it's kind of...
Beautiful thing.
It is. I don't know why it stopped. All right, there it is. It's not moving though. It's just stuck there. There are a lot of great old theaters here that aren't really used for theaters anymore, like the Vine across the street there, but there's a bunch of them kind of all down the way that aren't really used for what they were originally intended to be used for. All right, I'm noticing this. This is some artwork by Tristan Eaton, who did the Monsters stuff on the backlot at Universal Studios Hollywood. If you've ever seen that a couple years ago at HHN. Sometimes they're tough to see if you do the tram tour. But look at this up here. There's a Divine mural. Right up there, he put Divine up there on the LA mural. Now this is kind of a deep cut for anyone that's been watching my videos for a long time, but over here on the corner of Selma and Argyle, where this trash is piled up around the can over there, this is where the topiary pig Argyle used to sit. I used to show him in all my videos back in the day. There was a topiary pig right here, which wasn't in the best of health because sometimes I think people would climb up on there and use him as a facility. You know what I'm talking about? So sometimes he wasn't treated that well. They eventually got rid of him. He was right here. Yeah, no telling what Argyle is it these days. Who knows? Hopefully he's in a better place. I would walk this route a lot of times coming from the store back to my apartment. So the boulevard is right over there, one block over there. This is bringing back some memories walking here, passing El Centro. Sometimes I wouldn't walk right on the boulevard. I would just go the next street over. It was a little quieter walk sometimes with groceries. I was walking back. I don't know why all this caution tape is here. These PVC pylons. And if I ever needed to rent a car, I would go to that Enterprise right there, which was convenient because I would just walk down this road, get the car, drop it off, and then walk back. There's B.A. Baracus right there. And that, not the skateboarder, but the van. I was right here on Carlton. Pretty cool living right here off this street with all the palm trees that you had. Very scenic, textbook Hollywood. When you think of LA, you think of palm trees. Corner of Carlton and Bronson, and I'll talk more about Bronson in a minute. So my apartment was right there. It's the taller building of the two. But I would walk out of my apartment and I would look this way and you could see the Hollywood sign off in the distance. So the tree's growing a little higher, but you walk up to the top of the corner there, the boulevard, I can see the Hollywood sign. Give it a little zoom in. Yep, walk out my front door, and also I can see it from the roof. There was like a little area on top of the roof, like a lounge area on top of the apartment complex. But I could just sit up there, edit my videos on my phone, and look at the Hollywood sign. Pretty cool. It's giving me serious deja vu vibes. I feel like I'm just walking back. Go to my place. I even remember the code to get in this place. Probably still works, but I'm not going to try it. This was it right here. I wasn't facing this way. I was facing the other side, kind of in a little crevice alley over that way. Then you could go up on the roof, as I stated, and I could see Paramount. I could see downtown LA. See the Hollywood signs, Griffith Observatory, 5845. I would use that keypad, walk in, take the elevator up to my floor. This is where I parked my car. First 7 months I didn't have a car, but after I bought a car, I would pull right down into there. Oh my gosh. Brings back some serious memories. Yeah, my apartment was around there, kind of about towards the end, halfway up. In fact, when I was living here, they were building, the gate's closing, they were building this one right here. That was being built, and now it's finished. And I moved from here after 2 years, and I moved down to Anaheim for a couple years. I kind of regret that decision. I should have just stayed here. But you know what? Live and learn. Right up there on the top of that roof was where they had like some couches and stuff you could sit up there, and this is where I get gas right here. 100% hand car wash. I don't know what that's pointing to, but right over there is where I'd fuel up when I go out for adventures, when I did get my car. Right next to the self-storage was a really great Thai place that me and my friend Jordan the Lion, who lived like 2 blocks from here, we ate there like probably like 100 times. And I can also thank this Tommy Burger over here for helping me pack on some pounds from some late night chili burgers. Also, Charles Bronson is painted over there on electrical box. I'll talk about him in a second. So as the story goes, Paramount Pictures, where Charles Bronson worked and did a lot of features and movies and shows and things like that, his last name, according to his agent, was really not something that was marketable or pronounceable, so he needed another last name that was going to be more marketable. So he walked out of Paramount, which is just down the way, right here off Bronson, and he goes, I'm going to be Charles, what's the name of this road? I'm paraphrasing all this. Charles Bronson. So I have a tie-in with Chuck Bronson. I mean, I love his movies, and I have a tie-in because I live right here in the neighborhood that he got his last name from, the name of the road. And I'll show the new Amoeba location, and I'll walk over to where the old Amoeba location used to be. Also, the Pantages is right over there. Hollywood and Vine, back over here again, an intersection known the world over. It is the, quote, entertainment capital of the world, located nearby motion picture studios, television productions, and recording studios. Right over there, Hollywood and Vine. Usually Trader Joe's or Gelson's would be the 2 closest. This is kind of a cool one. You see Hitchcock in there. Look at this, take a look. Right there. Hitchcock would be proud. I got some pretty cool murals inside the Trader Joe's. Oh, yeah. But I would walk from here back to my apartment with the food. But I learned by attempting to film in here, they would yell at you if you filmed inside. So the best thing to do is just look at these murals from the outside and just film through the window. Which was always confusing. They had these really awesome paintings and murals inside Trader Joe's here, but they didn't want them filmed. The start of Paramount Pictures right here on this corner. Selma and Vine. So Hollywood Boulevard has the stars, but Vine Street does as well. Yeah, Paramount Pictures started right here. Little placard. The beginnings of Hollywood. This location, Selma Ave and Vine, served as the headquarters for Paramount Film Company. Jesse Lasky Feature Play Company right up there. And if you go over to the Hollywood Bowl, the building that is on, well, actually, go around the other way. I thought it was two-sided. This building still exists over by the Hollywood Bowl, in the parking lot of the Hollywood Bowl. That barn, the site, they moved it from here over there. The site where the first feature-length motion picture was filmed, Cecil B. DeMille, which is pretty neat to think about. Hollywood began, motion picture industry, right back there, where Trader Joe's is now, on that corner. Pretty wild to think about. Walking up to Sunset now. This used to be my bank. And this used to be a Starbucks, now it's a Chipotle. Kind of curious if the Cinerama Dome is reopened back up. And it does not look like it is. The historic Cinerama Dome, the ArcLight Cinemas, hosted lots of movie premieres. In fact, I believe E.T. premiered here. And before they extended it out with restaurants over there, there's an interview with young Drew Barrymore over there on that corner. But this thing has been shuttered and closed up for a long time, just kind of boarded up. I saw a movie here when my mom came to visit me. The Last Showman, I think that circus movie. She wanted to see it, so we came down, walked down the boulevard, and saw a movie in here. That might have been the only movie I ever saw in here. There were some premieres here. There was an Andre the Giant documentary that premiered here, and there was a lot of wrestlers out front. Yeah, the classic Cinerama Theater just boarded up. For whatever reason, this historic thing has not reopened. What the heck? Hollywood history all boarded up here. The marquee up there. The historic, very famous, iconic spherical dome on top. And looks as if the Jack in the Box over there, which was really an experience, a late night treat at the Jack in the Box on Sunset. If anyone has ever been in there, they know it needs no explanation of how that Jack in the Box was. Late night hours, even during the day. And right over here was the old location. Now it's called the Lighthouse. This used to be where Amoeba Records used to be. Right here. Now it's moved. Yeah, went in that Amoeba many times. I'm glad they moved. I mean, I'm glad they didn't just completely close. It's like the old Jack in the Box is now a public parking, or it was. You kind of see the old building right there, but it's all boarded up here. Now the public parking is over this way. Oh yeah. Get a really good peek here. There it is. You can definitely see how that was a Jack in the Box. Now it's just used for parking. You can even see the Jack in the Box colors over there. Oh yeah. There's some vibes in that place. Oh, and of course, Trejo's Tacos over there, which I went to Trejo's many times. You need coffee here on the corner of Selma. I like that slogan. So evidently, yeah, this is, I remember this spot. So Jordan told me about this place. So look how many artists recorded here at this studio. I learned a lot from Jordan the Lion when he lived here. I knew some things he didn't know. He knew a lot of things I didn't know. So we kind of feed off information from each other, and he would kind of share me stuff like this. So this is kind of interesting that all of these artists recorded inside this building right here on Selma, now used as like a cafe, coffee shop. There's so much Hollywood history. If you're familiar with Buster Keaton, I covered this years and years ago in great detail, but this is just one of the Buster Keaton spots. There's a famous Buster Keaton movie. Also, this bookstore and magazine store has closed. Check it out. Chaplin Keaton Lloyd Alley. They actually do show it here. They actually do signify it, which I don't think was here before. Right here on Cahuenga, there is a famous Buster Keaton moment where he's being chased out by the police, and he grabs onto a car and gets yanked that way. It's easily to look up. Just look up Buster Keaton chase scene and all that. And it was right here in this alley. It looks a little bit different, but the alley is separated by the same one. And the camera was over there, the car was there, and he grabs onto the vehicle, gets yanked off that way, and then the chasers are all here and they all pile on top of each other. But take a look at this. This has been added since the last time I really paid attention to this little alleyway. Chaplin Keaton Lloyd Alley, right there. All of these, 3 of the greatest comedies of all time were filmed in part on the West Alley from Cahuenga to Cosmo. All of these right here. Pretty neat. Safety Last, Cops, and The Kid, all right here in this very alley. Now, when I was here before and I kind of showed this in a little more detail, you could actually walk in here. Now they've got to put this whole fence up. I remember bars being on these windows. Back over at the Golden Arches and Buster, corner of Hollywood and Highland. This is almost turned into like a regular flea market through here now. Look at street meat, vendors, all kind of stuff going on. Zorro's out here, guy with the snake around his neck. You got the El Capitan over there in the distance. It's popping down here. A lot of vendors out. So walking over here, you got Anne Hathaway, Kathy Bates right down here. I think Michael Jackson is around this area too. See, there's Annette Bening right there. There he is. There's Michael Jackson. Right there. King of Pop. Right next to all the vendors here. And artists. They're back at the Chinese Theater. One thing is for sure, at this hour, I mean, Hollywood Boulevard is always a vibe, but at this hour it is hopping on a weekend, on a Saturday night as the recording of this. It is definitely going, it's happening down there. There's just like the people down there and they're dressed in their costumes. I wouldn't call them cosplay, they're just in like their cheap costumes, asking tourists for donations to try to get some photos with them right along the boulevard. Got a cast of characters right along Hollywood Boulevard, right across from the El Capitan, across from the Jimmy Kimmel Show. And I'm up on the fourth floor ledge over at the Hollywood and Highland, which is where I'm standing at the moment. I just always feel good when I'm down here. For some reason, I just really like being down here. Got the Kobe mural right there. Downtown LA is off in the distance. You can see Buster right there, and this is the boulevard looking down at all the wild, the Roosevelt Hotel over there. The iconic stairs from the Academy Awards. Kind of looking the other way. Now going down the series of escalators. Back down to the parking structure. Escalator, overload, all the different levels through here. Down to the green. P4. I like how it's all color-coded. P4. Nice little walk down memory lane. The boulevard of broken dreams, if you will. Kind of nice to be back in my old stomping grounds, reminisce, share some thoughts, have a little deja vu moment with myself, put it out there into the universe, and talk about some things that maybe some didn't know and I had forgotten until I'd seen them. Heading out of P4 up to P3, then to P2, then to ground level, and then back to my hotel. From one parking structure to another. Over Hollywood Boulevard, back over Universal City, parking structure to parking structure. Heading back to my room. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is full of parking structures, and the vlog is over.